International Space Station crew and NASA, I extend our warm congratulations to the Wireless Institute of Australia on reaching 100 years. The WIA began in 1910 at a time when we could not communicate around the world using radio. About a decade later, radio amateurs had developed worldwide radio communications. Among the many other contributions of radio amateurs over the years include space communications. The first amateur satellite was launched in 1961, just 4 years after Sputnik 1. There are advanced and ambitious plans by AMSAT to send amateur satellites into the orbits of Venus and Mars. All very interesting indeed. I'll now stand by for the questions. Jordan, it's hard to say which is the most interesting because there's so many of them and they're interesting for different reasons. But some that I find fascinating are the human research experiments trying to understand our bodies in space, and also the ones that involve growing plants and seeing how gravity, or the lack of gravity, affects the growth of plants. Over. Elizabeth, that's a great question, and in fact, our bodies have to adapt to the space environment, and so our normal blood pressure and pulse rate change as we adapt to this environment. But the experiments that we do on board that are classified as human research look at those very effects to see just what normal is here in space. Over. Well, Nick, not all emergencies on the space station involve the crew evacuating. But if we were to evacuate, we would all get into our respective Soyuz vehicles and undock and come home. It's that simple. Hopefully we never need it. Over. Tamlin, you're right. We do see 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. I wouldn't say it affects our sleep patterns because we control the lighting inside the space station and we turn off the lights when it's time to go to bed. I would say that I don't sleep any longer or shorter than I do on Earth, but I have had the deepest sleep of my entire life, I think deeper than when I was a baby. And when we get home to Earth, it takes about 2 weeks for you to feel a little bit normal, but your rehab takes upwards of about 3 months. Over. Brendan, I work on a daily basis, day and night, with astronauts from other countries, and there are often times when we work on experiments together, but most of the time we're working on experiments alone, and for any of the 16 countries that are represented here on board the space station. Over. Hopefully we won't have many reasons to bring in the law up here. Most of the people that are here for the benefit of humankind and to keep this space station going. But no, we are not above the law, as you say. But we do have special space acts that incorporate rules and laws for the entire space station. Over. Melanie, that's hopefully a question that we're answering with the space station now and the long-duration missions that we have. Our goal is to understand how the body can live in space so that we can continue exploration. Over. Well, Tim, I can tell you that space is the blackest black I've ever seen. And it's not so much when I look out in space, but when I look down at the Earth and I realize that considering how many people make up the human race over the millions of years that we've existed, to know that only a handful of us have actually seen our beautiful planet from this vantage point makes me feel very, very humble and very privileged. Over. We have a team of scientists and researchers on the ground that are always looking out after us, and if we were to ever come in close contact with any debris, we would do a maneuver to get ourselves out of the way. Over. I'm scheduled to have my first spacewalk in August. I hear that it's one of the most extraordinary experiences, and no one has ever been separated from the space station by a large distance. We're about to lose signal. I just want to congratulate the WIA once again on 100 years and thank the Trinity Christian School for all your questions. This is OR4 ISS out.